Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out from Ukraine, and I've got some information that could be very good news for the Ukrainian military if this happens to be true. As the mainstream news publication Axios is reporting today, that Trump allegedly pledged air defense help for Ukraine. So take a look at your screen here. Trump promises Ukraine help with air defenses to aid in Russian attacks. Trump told Zelenskyy in a call on Friday that the U.S. wants to help Ukraine with air defense due to escalating Russian attacks, a Ukrainian official and a source with knowledge of the call said. Okay, so this is huge, guys. So far, it's only Axios that's reporting this right now at the time that I record this for you guys. So if Trump actually did pledge air defense support for Ukraine, this could be very big, as we've been hearing that Ukraine is short on Patriot missile systems. They need more of the interceptors for these as well to shoot down a lot of these incoming ballistic and cruise missiles that terrorize Ukrainian civilians. We've been seeing massive attacks from the Russians recently, launching sometimes up to 500 drones, like what happened overnight last night. We also heard a report recently that Germany is trying to work with the U.S. right now to purchase up to two Patriot missile systems for Ukraine, possibly even interceptors as well. So this is very good news. I want to show you guys this report on this, and then we've also got some information regarding to Russian attacks here in the coming summer that I want to show you guys as well. So let's hop on over here real quick to a mainstream news report with RBC Ukraine. Trump pledges air defense help for Ukraine in call with Zelenskyy, according to Axios today. You can see the date, July 4th, 2025. And here's a picture of Zelenskyy and Trump as they met at the White House a few months back. If you guys remember that debacle where they pretty much got into a heated argument, that's what that photo is there. And it says here down below, in a telephone conversation with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, U.S. President Donald Trump promised to help with the supply of air defense systems, Axios reports. Trump said he wants to help with air defense and that he will check what was put on hold, if anything, an unnamed source told the outlet. At the same time, an unnamed Ukrainian official said that Trump and Zelenskyy agreed that teams from the U.S. and Ukraine would soon meet to discuss the supply of air defense systems and other weapons. So we did hear about that earlier this morning. I gave you guys an update on this phone call, and that's mainly what we heard, that that Trump and Zelenskyy would be working more closely to secure some sort of help in terms of air defense, but we didn't hear anything about Trump actually pledging help. So again, this is very good news. And it also says right here, Trump-Zelenskyy call, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and U.S. President Donald Trump held a phone call today on July 4th. According to Zelenskyy, he and Trump agreed to strengthen the protection of Ukrainian airspace against Russian attacks. Zelenskyy also said that he and Trump agreed to arrange a meeting between U.S. and Ukrainian teams. It is worth noting that the conversation took place against the backdrop of a suspension of U.S. arms supplies to Ukraine, including a halt in Patriot missile deliveries. Okay, so again, so far this is looking like good information. Now we'll see what the U.S. actually decides to do when they start negotiating these deals. See if they're going to supply Patriot missile systems over to Ukraine, possibly even more missile interceptors, because I know that's what Ukraine is very short on right now. So again, very good news to hear, and we'll wait for more developments on that. But just wanted to let you guys know that allegedly Trump did pledge support for Ukraine. So now that he stated that, let's wait to see what his actual action is going to be, because he said things like this in the past, then does 180s at times and does not fulfill his promises. So let's jump on over to X now, and let me show you another report here regarding Russian attacks. This is from War Translated. Wall Street Journal reports that Russia is preparing for a summer of relentless attacks on Ukraine, intensifying offensives and missile strikes across the country as U.S. military aid, including air defenses, remains on hold. Citing Institute for the Study of War, Wall Street Journal says about 50,000 Russian troops have been concentrated in the Sumy region, aiming to break through toward the Oblast center. Ukrainian forces are holding the line but face critical shortages of personnel and equipment. Okay, so this is what the Wall Street Journal is reporting today. Putin plots summer of relentless attacks on Ukraine. Russian aerial ground assaults are mounting as U.S. withholds some weapons from its ally. So we did hear a couple days ago that the U.S. was halting certain shipments of critical weapons that Ukraine uses to defend their skies in the front line. For example, some Patriot missile interceptors were going to be withheld. There was like artillery rounds, all kinds of different precision weapons, even some that the F-16s that Ukraine uses to shoot down incoming drones, some of the AIM missiles, air-to-air missiles and whatnot. So on top of that, while the U.S. is withholding these weapon shipments over to Ukraine, apparently, according to the Wall Street Journal, Putin is plotting a major summer of relentless attacks onto Ukraine. So we're going to be seeing heavy strikes onto Ukraine. I even had a report earlier that a new commander within Ukraine's military, I forget his name, but he was reporting that actually posted it for you guys as a community post. You might be able to see it on my page for all my community posts that I put here on YouTube. He was stating that he was expecting to see 1,000 drones a night coming from Russia at some point here in the near future. And that could be absolutely devastating, as we have been hearing the Russians are maximizing their output and production of these drones. So I think we're going to see heavy attacks here in the near future. But some good news today that did come out was Zelenskyy was stating that apparently they have signed a contract or a deal with the U.S. in production of interceptor drones that they can now start using, which apparently they used last night on the front lines to bring down a lot of these incoming drones. So it looks like the U.S. is going to be stepping up some support here very soon to help Ukraine defend their skies. Now, in terms of offensive needs, I'm not sure about that, but at least in the meantime, getting some defensive weapons over to Ukraine is critical to protect civilians who are constantly losing their lives in these massive attacks from the Russians. So I just wanted to share these details here with you today, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in for this update. Let me know what you think about all these details down below in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. With that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.